who pulled up for a catch-up. It's really here from 947 afternoons. And if you're here, it means you've got taste. Go ahead, enjoy the moment you missed. But don't ghost me. Weekdays 12 to 3 p.m. on 947. I'm loud and way more fun in real time. And yeah, there's more audio magic waiting for you right here on Prime Media Plus. Wake up with a bang.
Hey, wake up!
Anele and The Club
On 947.
You know, right before the 7 o'clock news, I wanted to say this. I wanted to say, your kids are in danger. Find out at 10 past 7 why, because it's a trick we do in radio to make sure you keep on listening.
Yeah.
But honestly, there's nothing funny about this. There's no hook. There's no catch. Your child has a cell phone. And, the more and more, our kids grow up. My child is 10 and is hanging out with other kids and communicating with other kids on his phone. I'm really realizing that a cell phone it's just become a weapon. Okay, yes, it is there for convenience, but the amount of things that can happen on a phone that can harm your child, it can lead to physical harm. Let's start there, but definitely emotional harm, spiritual harm. There's just so many things, there's so many attacks that are coming through from your child's device. And this morning, we want to dedicate a good 30 minutes to that.
Disturbing reports emerging of WhatsApp channels sharing explicit content.
The web is also a breeding ground for predators, online hackers, and cyber bullies. Some users say Roblox can be anything but child's play.
It feels like every time, because we have this conversation every now and again, right?
We have to.
But it just feels like there's a new method every few months.
And we're blessed that we work with Cindy, because Cindy's always on the ball. She's got her hand on the pulse of what is happening, the things that can endanger your child, because of the podcast that she does, Teen Junction.
Yeah.
So when I sent this video to Cindy, Cindy was like, you know what? Get Sarah Hoffman in here. Let's chat to her. She's the co-founder of Clicked. Sarah Hoffman, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Well done to your skin, eh?
It's got great skin.
She's got wonderful skin.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Like, oh my word, she's like it's just like all glowy.
Yeah.
Sarah, tell me, what is Clicked? And it's spelled KLIKD.
Yes, so Clicked is a company that I started 5 years ago with a psychologist. My background's in the legal side of social media. And really the idea is to help parents and kids and teachers navigate all of the challenges and more that you played in that very hooking clip.
Yes. But now here's the thing. And the reason you started this 5 years ago is because you're realizing that kids, teenagers, young adults, they treat social media like something that's just going to go away and it'll be fine and I can do what I want and post what I want and say what I want. One day I'll get a job and I'll be an adult and this won't matter. And you're saying everything you do in the digital realm matters. It stays there.
Absolutely. And, Anele, I think I'm so excited to have this conversation with you guys because it just ripples into everything at every stage of parenting, I don't know a family that isn't at battle in some way, shape or form over a screen, whether it's your little one watching too much Peppa Pig. No parent is saying, please just play another game of Roblox, sweetie pie, please. It's always... It's actually changing the dynamic in family homes.
I think, though, Sarah, we're so quick to blame the kids and say you are always on your phone. And then you have conversations with parents who you go, oh, Snapchat's dangerous. And they go, oh, I don't check my child's phone. I always say this on the podcast. You would never give your kids the keys to a car without driving lessons and without making sure that they can pass a license. But we hand them a cell phone, which is more deadly than a car these days. And we literally go, oh, here you go, but I don't have time to care about it. I don't have time to check their social media. So as much as we're blaming the kids, I'm sure you would agree, the actual responsibility, unfortunately, parents, you have to step up an adult.
Absolutely. And I think really just... this isn't all about making parents feel terrible and making you want to go and lie in a dark room and rock and, or
rock yourself back and forth.
Rock yourself back and forth.
Rubbing your earlobes.
Although, spoiler alert, probably what we're going to talk about will make you want to do that, some of it. But in fairness to parents, it's really hard. It's really overwhelming. And I think where tech companies have let us down is at the moment, until things change and until legislation really kicks in, and we are seeing movement, but until things really change, it is the responsibility of the parents to manage these devices, and it's tough.
Okay, so two things that I want to discuss with you, and then if there's anything that you feel has to be discussed, in this hour, please, Sarah, feel free to add it on. Send us voice notes as well, 084 0000947. The more we speak, if you have any questions, Sarah's here. She's going to answer them. Two things, WhatsApp channels and roadblocks. These are two things that my son, he's 10 years old, because he follows Man City and WWE and all of these sporting things on WhatsApp channels. And now I hear that WhatsApp channels is also dangerous. Run us through that. How, why, how are we stopping it outside of just deleting WhatsApp on our kids' phones?
Yeah, so WhatsApp channels are a really tricky one. If you followed the news, I'm sure a couple of weeks ago there was a massive case where really, really terrible child exploitation and pornographic content was leaked on hundreds of WhatsApp channels, and the digital law company actually took Meta to court to have those channels deleted, and the identity of whoever was behind that revealed. But the horrible thing about WhatsApp channels is that they're very insidious, and you can't actually get rid of them. If you're on WhatsApp,
that's it. They're there.
So parents do need to check what channels their kids are following and really keep an eye on that and have conversations. Really, anything, at the end of the day, everything I'm going to tell you about this space, it comes down to checking in with your child, having conversations. I think we will talk about things like parental controls and filters and blocks. And I think for a period of time when your kid is young, those things are very valuable, and we can rely on those things to an extent. But as your kid gets older, and certainly Cindy would know as you're the teen expert, you have to start relying on your relationship, the relational controls. How are you talking about it? How are you checking in? That's really the greatest line of defense.
So how is it happening? Sorry, would I just open my phone and then it pops up? Do they have to go and subscribe to it? Do they hear at school?
Do they get invited?
So you can get added to channels which have thousands and thousands and thousands of members. So parents need to go, and there are some instructions on, we can share maybe in the show notes afterwards, exactly where parents go on your child's WhatsApp to check what channels they're following.
Yeah, that's the thing, because she was saying now it's difficult for parents. It was difficult for us. You guys had to sit around the table and show me what WhatsApp channels are yesterday. Because I don't know how they work.
Frankie was none the wiser.
I've never used them, so I didn't even know how they work.
But Sarah, are you saying that regardless of whether or not my child wants to be on that channel, they can be automatically added if somebody has their number?
Yes, they can be added to a channel. So you can unsubscribe from a channel, but
a kid will always. Kids are inquisitive. If they get added to a channel because some random has their number and adds them to a channel, they're going to click on whatever content, and just 10 seconds of the wrong content can literally scar them for life.
Absolutely. So that's, I think that it's a big problem.
So
with
when you
WhatsApp.
say you guys are taking Meta to court, is this around that?
Not me. It was.
Why not? What are you doing next week?
No, Meta was taken to court and it was successful. And it was a landmark judgment. It was Emma Sadler, the digital law company, who did that. And it was really a very successful.
So what did they win? What does that mean?
So what happened in that case is that they actually forced Meta to shut down the channels in question. They had a list of hundreds of channels. They forced Meta to actually hand over, provide identifying information about whoever was behind those channels, and then also set up a hotline going forward for kids that were in difficult situations from Meta accounts.
Okay, so on the way. That's one of the things that I want to discuss, this WhatsApp stories and this WhatsApp channels, right? The next thing I want to discuss is because Roblox, all of our kids are on it. And then every now and then I'm hearing, it's dangerous. But no one is saying what the danger is. Yeah. On the way, Sarah breaks it down for us. What is the danger with Roblox?
You guys must watch on Netflix. It's called Unknown Number. It's about messaging and harassment of kids, and then at the end of it, you see who really is the person behind the messages.
Guys, this conversation triggers me. A few weeks back, went through my son's phone, this WhatsApp channel, whatever it is. The amount of porn I found in that phone, I still don't know what to do with myself.
And here's what we just discovered now, just by doing a little bit of research, is that if your child is part of a WhatsApp channel, right, whilst their number is not visible to the other members in the WhatsApp channel community, the admin has got the number, and they can sell the number because, like Sarah Hoffman was saying, who's the speaker and co-founder of Clicked, she was saying that you can just get added to a WhatsApp channel, and because you think you're safe, no one's got my child's number, right? Only like 5 people have got their number. But if they are part of a WhatsApp channel, the person who runs the channel admin has got their number.
In certain circumstances, right?
Yeah.
But the point and this is the debate I was just talking to Cindy about, we all are part of groups, right? Groups in our communities.
Lone Hill,
Street groups, whatever. And you can see people's numbers there. So gathering people's information and numbers.
And selling them.
So you can imagine if your kids are part of school groups, for example.
Which they are, all
right? And those numbers get gathered and added to a channel. That's the conversation here. It's very dangerous.
Okay, so Sarah, Roblox. What is the danger with Roblox?
So I think that a lot of parents have a misconception about Roblox. And the first thing I want to say is that Roblox is not one game. Roblox is 40 million games. Roblox is basically the YouTube of games, right? So on YouTube, your kid can watch a nice video of the humpback whale and it'll be very educational. And then they can watch the most horrific, pornographic, explicit, inappropriate content. There's everything under the sun. YouTube is Google for videos.
Yeah.
Roblox is YouTube for games.
I thought it was one game where they build houses.
I thought they were just
visiting each other in different rooms.
Incorrect. So with that, there's good, there's bad, and there's very ugly. What we need to also understand about Roblox is the games are user generated. So that means anyone, anywhere in the world
can make a game.
So the goodies and the baddies can make games for your children. Some of them are innocent, some of them are fun, some of them are really not okay. There was this really interesting research piece by this company called Hindenburg Research that came out about a year ago. And they exposed the most horrific games on Roblox. Everything from Jeffrey Epstein Island, Shoot the Pregnant Woman, a therapist simulator game where the therapist started, sexually propositioning the patient who is your child. P. Diddy, everything under the sun.
But how easy is it for my child to find that game? Like, how do they go from building
algorithm based?
So here's the catch with Roblox, right? You subscribe to an age category of games, right? So your child will enter their age. Here's the first thing for parents. Often your child won't enter the correct age. So if you want to be savvy, first thing, they're going to enter the correct age on Roblox. Then it will push the games that Roblox thinks are safe for that age group. But here's the catch. There are so many games being put on that platform that even with 2,500 moderators, they can't keep all the junk out. It's actually impossible. Maybe once something is flagged as inappropriate or dodgy, it will be taken down, it will be removed. But it's not the same as your kid playing FIFA or Minecraft, which has been vetted by professional gaming companies and then published and then made available to the public. These are user-generated games. So again, I'm going to say some are fine, some are really not fine. So again, it comes down to work for parents. If your child is going to play Roblox, you have to know exactly what game on Roblox they're going to play, and then also use the parental controls that they have.
Okay, but I don't have the time to sit next to my child while she plays an hour of Roblox. So how do you know how you go quickly into Roblox just to see, is there like a search history? Like you can go on Google and see someone's search history.
Yeah.
Does Roblox have that?
They do have parental controls. You can go to my website, www.clicked.co.za, and there's a guide on Roblox that you can download for free, and it tells you exactly how to set up the parental controls. That is work for you, but it's hopefully not an everyday kind of work. But the everyday thing that parents do have to do if your child is going to play Roblox is checking in. What games are they playing? You can block certain games on Roblox. You can if you discover there's something super dodgy. And I haven't even told you the most dodgy of dodgy ones. But you can block a certain Roblox experience, but you can't only have one game. So you can't say, I only want my child to play Grow a Garden, which is the game that they're all obsessed with at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite innocent. It's very addictive, but it's not explicit in any way.
Yeah.
So that's the difficulty with Roblox.
Okay, so we're going to go into news headlines with Thembekile. Frank is going to hook you up with traffic, and then we're going to ask Sarah the last round of questions. One of my questions I want to ask her when we come back is, there's a communication on Roblox, much like Fortnite, where you're talking with people around the world.
Yeah.
I've also discovered that another, dark arm of Roblox, the fact that you can communicate with people and then you guys can set up meetings to meet in. That scricks me, that some stranger is talking to your child and can get your child to a place of comfort where then your child colludes with this person to go meet up somewhere. That is hair-raising.
Dr. John Deloney, who is a podcaster, said he refuses to give his child a phone because he says he's not giving his child access to the world. He's getting the world access to his child.
My kids don't have access to social media. I have 3, 17, a 15-year-old, and a 9-year-old, and none of them have phones or iPads. However, my oldest daughter, she'll be receiving her phone when she turns 18. How can I, as a parent, properly introduce social media to her?
Go for it, Sarah.
Cool, Anele. So I think that there's a massive benefit in delaying the age at which you give your child a first smartphone. In fact, I'm going to try to say this very quickly because there's so much to say on this topic, but there's a massive movement around the world based off a book called The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt.
Yes.
And he basically put together the first really substantial body of research on the impact and harm of kids growing up tethered to these devices. And he showed for the first time how this is actually what he says rewired childhood. And one of he makes 4 recommendations at the end of his book. He says, firstly, no smartphones before high school, phone-free schools, more free play in the real world, and I've just gone completely blank on the 4th one. It will come back to me in a minute. But basically, his book has created this groundswell movement all over the world. In fact, his book was part of the reason they banned social media
in Australia.
Social media for kids, because the Prime Minister's wife read this book and said to her husband, "You got to do something, dude. You got to do something about this. This is a problem."
What's the book called?
The Anxious Generation. It's a very powerful book. His whole thing is that we've overprotected kids in the real world and underprotected them online. We spent a lot of time putting fences around pools and making sure you don't talk to anyone in the park that looks dodgy, but stay at home where it's safe on Instagram, which is a complete misconception. So just to answer the caller's question, there is a lot of benefit, and we're seeing a lot of benefit in delaying smartphones. The most powerful way we can do this is as a collective group of parents.
Yeah.
And there is a movement in South Africa, Smartphone Free Childhood, sfc.co.za. You can actually go on, choose your child's school and current grade, and say, I, Anele, with my child in X grade at X school, agree to delay giving my child a smartphone till high school. And the minute more than 10 parents sign the pact and say they're on the same page, the pact is what they call active, and you know that you're not alone. And it's very, very powerful because every child, most parents land up giving their child his phone because
peer
they're
pressure.
the only one.
Yeah.
It's how they communicate. They don't know what's going on in the sleepover. They can't communicate with their friends. No parent wants their child to be excluded. But this is a very, very powerful way of removing that peer pressure.
If we all agree, then no one has.
If we all agree.
That's the
And
point.
actually, interestingly, in that book, when Jonathan Haidt interviews so many teenagers and he says, would you be happier without your phone? And they first say no. And then he says, would you be happier without your phone if none of your friends had it? And the answer is very different. They say yes. So it's all about that not being excluded, not being left out.
Cheslin, we're going to come to you. I know Cheslin in Boksburg is waiting to talk to Sarah Hoffman as well here from Clicks. My question before news headlines, I asked you about Roblox. I mean, you've just blown my mind saying that Roblox has got 40,000 games. I thought it was one game. I thought it's like Pac-Man, guys. When you go into Pac-Man, that's it,
and
right?
you're not alone, Anele. A lot of parents think it's just kind of a version of Lego or Minecraft, and it's kind of it's a lot more than that.
So why is it that they can communicate with strangers on there as well? Because Cindy was also saying that her kids were asking her, please can you activate our microphone for Roblox so we can speak? But there is a bit of a restriction. You have to be 18 years old to be able to communicate. But once again, the kids are lying about their ages. What is the communication happening inside Roblox?
So many things to talk about. So firstly, we need to understand that wherever kids hang out, predators hang out. The playground itself was where predators used to hang out. video games are the modern day playground. So that is where predators have a very easy access to start a very easy conversation with your kid. And the modern day predator, when we go to schools and we do a lot of talks to schools, and we have a whole online safety program that we run in schools, and we say to kids, like, if this creepy guy in the trench coat came up to you in the playground, would you talk to him? And they're like, no, never. But that creepy guy is in all the chat rooms, but he looks and sounds and feels exactly like any other gamer you'd want to be playing with.
Here's another thing, and because you and I had a conversation yesterday about your son is 10, right? And you were saying that there were older kids that he met at an event, and they'd still been friends and chatting on WhatsApp, and you cut that off. You said, look, I don't think it's appropriate for a 10-year-old.
You're 16, my child's 10. You guys have nothing to talk to each other about.
Exactly, and there's nothing inappropriate with what they were saying, but you're just saying those age gaps, it's not normal,
and
right?
I'm that parent, guys. I don't care. I'll figure it out later, but for now, you are 16, he is 10. Go to your friends.
But this is the point. On Roblox, it's not like that. So remember, if you're online playing a game, doesn't matter what kind of game it is, even if you have set your restrictions, it's very easy that your son could be playing with a 16-year-old. And they could be chatting about things.
And it's more likely that they're a 47-year-old dodgy pedophile sitting in a basement somewhere that's simultaneously talking to multiple young gamers.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's such an easy in because what's happening, most of the video games are highly addictive and they're designed by experts who know exactly how much dopamine to make your kid release to make them keep coming back for more and more. And they're engaging in such a chemical high that when someone starts talking to them in the middle of this game, it's kind of just like
it's euphoric.
All part and parcel. It's euphoric. It's exciting.
And oh my word, that person likes me and all of that.
Defenses are down. So it's not like, hello, do you want to have some of my candy? Not at all. It's kind of just all part of this very exciting experience.
Oh, you're so good. I want you on my team. Speak to you, flatter them. Cheslin, you're in Boksburg. Talk to us. Sarah's all yours.
Good morning, team.
Morning.
Sarah, well, I do want to actually ask a question. I would also just like to add to the parents is parental control has been set up on devices. I mean, Apple's got it, Android has got it, where you physically need to set up your kid's device when you get it. So a lot of parents are allowing kids to, set up their own devices, and that's where they put their age as, older than 18. But when you set it up and you put it under a certain age, you have control over that device always, even if you're not with your kid. So I think parents need to start looking into that more as to setting it up so they can have control on these devices more than the kids do.
Absolutely right, Cheslin. And I think parents do need to, unfortunately, until technology the internet in general becomes more safe for our kids, we do need to step up as parents. But I do want to say, and we're actually saying this in the break, that the kids are crafty and they very quickly find an override to parental controls. One of the things a lot of kids do is on Apple Screen Time, for example, is they just change the time zone. So if you say that Roblox is only available from 5 to 6. Suddenly they change the time zone and you now live in New Zealand or somewhere else.
And now you have access to it.
And they have access. So they're very, very crafty. Remember, our kids are digital natives. It's, you just need to Google how to override Apple Screen Time parental controls, and there's such kind teenagers that have very kindly made tutorials for your children all over the world showing them exactly what the tricks are. So, yes, we can rely on parental controls. Are they completely watertight? Absolutely not. There is a parental control for younger kids that I really like, that I think is a little bit more watertight than Screen Time or Google Family Link. It's called Mint Kids.
Okay.
It's a new offering, and actually you can get a discount if you add in clicked 001 when you check out. But basically it allows you to completely remotely lock down your child's device. You can say that at nighttime only a meditation app is available, and at 3 to 4 it's only Matific.
Okay.
So for younger kids it's a really nice option. Again, once your kids get older, we can't only rely on the parental controls. We've got to have these conversations, and we've got to have the conversations very early on, actually.
Okay, we are out of time and not out of questions. So anybody who's got more questions, if they want your help, Sarah, how do they get hold of you?
So best is our website, www.klikd.co.za. We are on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're frequently posting updates on the newest Roblox games, the newest apps, the newest risks, threats.
Things to watch out for.
And importantly for parents, how to have these conversations. I know they're not easy, but we really believe in, and I'm going to talk at 1.5 because there's so much to talk about, but we have to go in curious, and not judgmental about our child's online world. Because the minute you come and say, put that thing away and get outside, they go underground. The minute you freak out when you discover the pornography, as much as you're crying on the inside, they're not going to tell you next time they mess up. So we've got to talk to them with a curious way and an empathetic way, as hard as it is for us. And if you need those scripts, we're full of all those scripts to use. Check out our resources. We're constantly on top of all the new risks, threats, trends, because we know it's hard for parents to do that.
What a wild time, Sarah. What a wild time. Thank you. I don't think this is the last time we're going to chat to you because, like I said, this conversation, I believe, needs to be had all the time.
It's ongoing,
you must remember, every day there's a child turning 10, guys. Every day there's a child turning 13. Every day there's a new parent.
And a new game.
Yes, there's a new game. And then every day there's a new child getting a cell phone.
Yeah.
So I really think us having these conversations, we remind each other. We keep these themes top of mind, and also as parents we show each other that you're not the only one going through it. That mom, you who found porn on your child's phone, you're not the only one.
Definitely
so
not.
Don't do the whole shame thing and then now you close yourself off thinking you're not the only one. And if we all open up and realize that we're all fighting the same battle and we're rowing in the same direction, trust us, this is how we're going to keep our kids safe.
Say goodbye now. Back to making your morning.
Anele and The Club.
I love this show. On 947.